I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, August 19th. Today, taking flight. Air Canada and the union representing flight attendants reach a deal when flights will get back to normal. Also today, making waves.
There is no choice. I have to go through the puddles.
What has people on 1 Winnipeg Street wringing their hands over chronic flooding? Plus, lost in the wilderness.
We have to find this young man. We can't stop the search. We just have to keep going and going and going.
The desperate search for a lost hiker in northern Manitoba. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It's the news thousands of air passengers have been waiting for. Air Canada flights are once again taking off. The union representing flight attendants and the airline have reached a deal.
Solidarity!
For 3 days, members of the Canadian Union of Public Employees have been walking picket lines at Winnipeg Richardson International Airport and airports all across the country. CUPE posted an announcement of the agreement to its members this morning, telling them it's time to get back to work. No word yet on the details of the agreement, but a source with the union tells CTV News the contentious unpaid work issue has been settled. Air Canada Executive VP Mark Nasser says it could take more than a week to get fully back on track.
We notified customers last night of the flights that we plan to cancel for tomorrow. So if we haven't notified you yet, we do plan to operate your aircraft. Now, of course, as the restart commences, as we perform maintenance activity on all of our planes to bring them back because they've been grounded for several days now, the plan could change, in which case in real time, we'll notify you. One more thing. We need to regain the trust and respect of our customers. And as part of that commitment, we're going to have a dashboard on our website 24/7 that shows fully transparently our restart status, how many flights we're operating, how many customers we're moving.
Union members now need to vote on the agreement to make it permanent. If they vote it down, the strike could resume. Boats, drones, and aircraft are combing northern Manitoba wilderness for a missing Norwegian hiker whose dog arrived at his destination without him. Gillam RCMP say 29-year-old Stefan Shetilvik was reported missing Friday after he didn't turn up in York Factory as planned. Police say he's an experienced wilderness traveler and left Fort Severn in Ontario July 25th. He arrived at Nanook Camp on Wednesday and told people at York Factory, 40 kilometers west, to expect him the following day. When he didn't turn up, local guides took to the air in a helicopter to search for him. A man from Thunder Bay, David Matthews, has been following Shetilvik's journey and is currently trying to raise money to buy more fuel for the helicopter.
After the first day, there was 5 drums of jet fuel. They used 3 drums right off the bat as soon as they got there, and the pilot told me it's not going to be enough. I never asked for donations before, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to ask. You know, we need to get this done. We have to find this young man. We can't stop the search. We just have to keep going and going and going.
Conservation officers and RCMP have since joined the search, but without any success. An update now to a story we brought you last week. Mama Wichita Center says the woman found dead at a Winnipeg hotel last year has now been identified. Community advocates and police held a media conference Thursday, hoping someone would recognize this sketch of the woman who was found at the Manwin Hotel on August 10th last year. The group says social media posts made their way to the woman's family, who traveled to Winnipeg over the weekend and identified her as Melanie McKay. Investigators previously said her death was not considered criminal. A northern Manitoba town, which has been evacuated twice this summer due to out-of-controlled wildfires, has been given the go-ahead to return home later this week. The mandatory evacuation order for the roughly 1,000 residents who live in Snow Lake is expected to lift Friday morning. The town says a welcome center will be set up at the community hall to provide resources and assistance for returning residents, including mental health supports and a food bank. The province's latest fire bulletin shows the 2 wildfires near Snow Lake are still considered out of control, but the town says the Manitoba Wildfire Service has advised council it is okay to return. Meantime, the main reception center for evacuees here in Winnipeg has moved. Instead of heading to RBC Convention Center, the province now says you should go to the Holiday Inn located at 1740 Ellis Avenue. It's open from 8:30 in the morning to 11:30 at night, 7 days a week. Evacuees can register with the Red Cross and access various supports and services. You can also call the 1-800 number on your screen for more information. 2025 has been one of the worst for wildfires in this country, and things don't appear to be improving.
Wildfires have consumed an area roughly the size of New Brunswick. And to put it in perspective, this is about double the usual average.
Government officials are warning about an increased risk of more wildfire activity, with above average seasonal temperatures persisting over the next 3 months. In much of the country, that will be the scenario. Currently, there are more than 700 wildfires burning in Canada. The national wildland fire preparedness level is at 5, meaning there's firefighters and equipment being used in every province and territory. A 27-year-old man is recovering from a serious collision near Deacon's Corner Sunday night. RCMP shared this photo of the aftermath of the crash. Mounties say a semi was pulling onto Provincial Road 207 when it was hit from behind by a sedan. The driver from the RM of St. Clements was brought to hospital in critical condition, but has since been upgraded to stable. Investigators say the sedan had no lights on, and alcohol and speed are believed to be factors. The driver of the semi was uninjured. The University of Manitoba is denying it had inadequate security measures after a convicted sex offender allegedly assaulted a student in her dorm room last year. In October 2024, Winnipeg police allege a 46-year-old man entered a dorm room within a student residence building on campus and attacked a woman. Several months after the incident, the woman filed a civil claim against the university for an unspecified amount in damages. She alleges the university was negligent and failed to supervise the premises to prevent access by the perpetrator, and she was sexually and physically assaulted as a result. However, in its statement of defense, the university says the woman's failure to lock her door caused the perpetrator to gain entry into her room, and not because of a security failure by the university. In a statement to CTV News, the university said it has multiple supports and security measures in place for students, staff, and faculty. The university is calling for the woman's claim to be dismissed with cause. One of the oldest pro golf tournaments in North America is set to tee off this week. Some of the best up-and-coming golfers will compete in the Manitoba Open at Breezy Bend Country Club in Headingley. They were getting in some practice today before the event begins on Thursday. Now, it's an annual tradition to invite an active NHL player to play, and this year, Winnipeg Jets goaltender Eric Comrie will be part of the lineup. Also competing is 4-time Manitoba men's amateur champion Braxton Kuntz, who will be playing in front of a hometown crowd.
I'm very comfortable out here, obviously, and I'm trying not to put pressure on myself, maybe playing in front of the home club and the home crowd, but just going to go out there and enjoy it.
Breezy Bend is hosting the event for the first time since 1993. And by the way, the very first Manitoba Open was held all the way back in 1919. Not a bad day to hit the greens, Colleen. You do join us now with a first look at our Skywatch forecast. What are you tracking?
Well, the heat, hot and humid today here in the south. We didn't get quite to our forecast high here in Winnipeg because the sun took its time coming out. Lots of cloud cover in the Winnipeg area, but still we got up to 25 last hour with the humidex. It fell closer to 29. Heat warnings are in effect next door across southern Saskatchewan. They haven't been triggered yet for southern Manitoba. I wouldn't be surprised if that changes tomorrow. It will be another hot day ahead, even hotter tomorrow. But the night ahead will be clear, and there is the possibility of fog. More on that coming up and a look at that heat incoming. But for now, let's take a look through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years in Winnipeg right now. The sun coming out, 25 degrees with a humid X. It feels like 30. Light winds out of the east-southeast. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 60%. Out in traffic on this Tuesday afternoon, a live look at a busy Portage Avenue east and westbound at Polo Park. Traffic moving well there. One stall to pass along Provencher at Desmirons. The stall is blocking the eastbound middle lane. Do expect some delays if you're trying to head eastbound.
Both ends are always flooded. So badly that it's gotten in my car doors.
Why some people living in Niagara say they've had it up to here with flooding on their street corner.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
The Consumer Price Index rose 1.7% year over year in July. That's a drop from the 1.9% increase in June. Inflation cooled with the help of a 16% drop in the price of gas. But Canadians did pay more for groceries last month. The price of coffee spiked 28%, and sweet treats jumped almost 12% because cocoa beans cost more. Fresh grapes went up 30%. A down day overall in the markets. The Canadian dollar is at 72.12. West Texas Intermediate down almost $1 to 61.77. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it down under $50 a barrel. And the TSX dropped 98 points, ending the day at 27,823. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Residents of a Winnipeg street say they're tired of getting flooded every time it rains, and they want the city to do something about it.
It usually gets way up onto the boulevard, and it's a couple of feet deep.
This is what it looks like today at the corner of Pebble Beach and Pine Bluff Road, just east of Niagara Golf Course. One woman who lives in the area tells CTV News the flooding happens every time it rains. Kate Pagan says there's no choice but to drive or walk her car through the water. She says it's been this way for years. Pagan says she's called the City of Winnipeg's 311 line several times about the problem, but has yet to hear back.
I would like it fixed, and at least have someone from the city contact us, because I know I'm not the only one that has put in a concern on 311.
Pagan says the water has flooded her car doors. CTV News has asked the City of Winnipeg about Pagan's complaints. We are still waiting for a response. Manitobans are challenging themselves to create change. Some brave people leaned over the edge and rappelled 272 feet down the side of Manitoba Hydro Place today. It's the 20th anniversary of the Easter Seals drop zone in support of Manitoba Possible. The organization works to improve the lives of people with disabilities. It serves around 75,000 Manitobans each year.
And you know what? We only see an increasing need across our community. So events like this that raise money that stays here in Manitoba really helps us start to address that demand.
Since it started, more than 1,000 rappellers have raised $2 million for Manitoba Possible. The organization hopes to add another $100,000 from this year's event.
You're proud to show off Winnipeg. You're proud to show off all the great things and great people here in the city.
It's a Winnipeg first. Why this weekend's Canadian Elite Basketball League Championship is about more than just basketball.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Led Zepp again, the premier tribute.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and get ready because basketball fever is about to take over downtown Winnipeg.
Is it ever? The Winnipeg Sea Bears are playing host to the Canadian Elite Basketball League Championship weekend. The Sea Bears were on the court today to prepare. The Sea Bears face Calgary in the Western Conference Final on Friday evening. It's the first time the Sea Bears will host the championship weekend. The three-day street festival includes a concert lineup, a market, and fan-friendly activities.
It's great to have friends coming into the city, and you're proud to show off Winnipeg. You're proud to show off all the great things and great people here in the city. And I think it's going to be a wonderful event for the whole league.
The Championship Street Festival starts on Graham Avenue on Friday afternoon. A doubleheader semi-final action tips off at 5 with the championship game on Sunday evening at Canada Life Centre.
Well, we are looking back at a day that will for sure live forever in Winnipeg rock music history.
No doubt. August 18th, 1964. For Winnipeg Beatles fans, it's a day they will never forget.
There they are, waving to our Channel 7 television cameras. Paul, George, Ringo, and John on the top step.
It's been 61 years since the Fab Four stopped in our city. The band was headed from London to San Francisco when its plane touched down to refuel. Crowds of screaming fans flocked to the Winnipeg airport to see the Beatles in person. CJAY-TV, which eventually became CTV News Winnipeg, was there, of course, and our reporter Bob Burns managed to chat with the band.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to look back at that footage. All right, Colleen. Here's the question of the day. You ready to get low?
Low, low, low. Flo Rida is bringing his catalog of club bangers to Winnipeg this fall.
She had them apple-bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
If you know, folks, including this classic Low. He'll be joined by Toronto rapper Cardinal Offishall. The show is set for October 1st at Canada Life Centre. Tickets go on sale Friday through Ticketmaster.
All right, if you own a wiener dog or just love cute little animals, this might be the event for you.
It's a Can't Miss Merrily. This Saturday marks the second annual celebration of Dachshunds called Wienerfest. The best part of Wienerfest, you ask? The races, of course. There'll be about 20 this year, plus a few vendors. The colorful event isn't just for Dachshund owners.
Really, the festival is an open event. We pride ourselves on being open for all small dog breeds, and we also are just there for people who are curious about Dachshunds, who want to own one.
Wienerfest takes place this Saturday at the Valley Gardens Community Center on Antrim Road from 10 until 1:30.
Oh my gosh, that looks like a good time, I gotta tell you.
Right. So cute.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Kick off your primetime lineup at 7 with E-Talk, followed by Amazing Race Canada, and wrap up the night at 10 with Battle of the Generations, all right here on CTV. A live look out onto Confusion Corner. Traffic moving well there. Sunny in the city now, finally. Warm out there, too. 25 degrees with a humidex. It feels like 30. I'll show you just how hot it's forecast to get tomorrow coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
It's hot and humid out there, and it is only going to increase on both fronts tomorrow. I mentioned earlier, just next door in Saskatchewan, heat warnings in effect right up to the Manitoba border. I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming hours, Environment Canada extends those heat warnings on the Manitoba side of this border out in the southwest there, but really all across southern Manitoba. Expect heat and humidity tomorrow. But before we get there, finally the sky cleared late this afternoon over Winnipeg. You can see the winds are light and the sky will stay pretty clear for much of the rest of the night. So a similar setup to what we saw yesterday. There is the potential for fog overnight. Other areas though, like the Paw, pretty good chance you could see showers or thunderstorms. It's not a sure shot, but there's a good chance of it in your region as we head into the evening hours and a little later tonight. Overnight, that's when we start to see some rain push well into southern parts of the province, and that will continue as we get into tomorrow morning. And then it really just kind of peters out, only to redevelop again in some more of a scattered fashion. And again, really light scattered showers across parts of the north, but otherwise fairly sunny. Then we get into tomorrow evening. That's when we start to see even more rain start to make its way across the south. But look at this, by 10 o'clock Wednesday evening, the Futurecast has pretty substantial line of rain falling from the southwest corner corner right up through the Interlake into eastern Manitoba. Overnight, we could see a pretty heavy band of rain move through Winnipeg. We can't be surprised by overnight thunderstorms, and into early Thursday morning we go. Speaking of which, Thursday later on in the day, another round of rain, primarily for the north, but we may catch some of it here in the southeast as well. For tonight, fairly clear, but with light winds and those clear conditions, and still with enough moisture on the ground. There is the potential again for fog to develop overnight, a low of 16. Mix of sun and cloud tomorrow with a hot high of 29 degrees. It will feel even hotter with the humidex. Winds pick up tomorrow afternoon out of the south at 20 with wind gusts as strong as 40 kilometers an hour. Wednesday already tomorrow, and the humidex, or not the humidex, the UV index, so many indexes for the city will be 7 or high. We get into a Thursday, showers or thunderstorms possible. 25 degrees, 21 on Friday, mix of sun and cloud, and then look at that, just 17 degrees, just inconveniently timed for the weekend. Chance of showers Saturday, 19 and sunny Sunday, 21 in the sunshine on Monday, with some single-digit overnight lows coming too. Our first photo takes us out to Elm Creek, Manitoba, and a look out on that canola field. That photo is from Natalie. And Kathleen said she rather enjoyed watching this fella have his snack. This is out of Brereton Lake in the Whiteshell. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. Assiniboine Park Zoo's new gray wolf pack is adapting to its new home, and one in particular is proving to be quite the star.
Comet is a very smart, very confident animal.
The zoo noted on social media this week Comet is excelling at his positive reinforcement training. Animal care curator Shane Pratt says the wolf has been very quick to pick up behaviors which help it adapt to everyday life and vet care.
That training is really, really important. There are aspects of it that can be educational, but we mainly in that regard, we train them in natural behaviors. So behaviors that you would normally see a wild animal behave, that's what we want them to do here.
Comet has learned to hold his paws against the fence for examination of his body and to potentially administer medications if needed. His care team has also been able to apply a fly repellent on his ears to manage the bugs. Comet, along with Gigi, Chinook, Stella, and Virgo, all arrived at the zoo in June. Beautiful looking animals.
They really are, aren't they?
Yeah. Another thing to keep your eye out for if you take a trip to the zoo this week. All right, that does it for us this hour, but don't go far. We will be back at 6 o'clock with much more local news. Hope to see you then.